Well, one convention down and one more to go. The Republican National Convention concluded last night, and the Democratic Convention starts Tuesday in Charlotte. We asked political science professor Chris Cooper what went right for Republicans and what Democrats need to do moving forward.
I accept your nomination for President of the United States.
I think they humanize Romney. I mean, Romney has a lot of positives, but I think his campaign biography, the negative part of it is he comes across as really wooden. He comes across a lot like a John Kerry did on the Democratic side. And so I think they did humanize him.
I know this good and decent man for what he is. He's warm and loving and patient.
I think his wife's speech went over really, really well, and I think they were able to sort of connect. I think they were able to work on some of the gender issues that the party's been facing lately. Clearly the Todd Akin comments were not a good moment for the Republican Party. So I think by kind of continually emphasizing gender and trying to close the gender gap back up, I think they actually had a pretty good convention.
You're absolutely crazy.
Other than the Eastwood thing, which is kind of a sideshow, there's really nothing that's being replayed that's particularly negative for the Republicans. The African-American vote is pretty solidly in the Democratic corner, and so I think the Latino vote is definitely much more up for grabs. Latinos tend to be more conservative on a lot of social issues. You've got the Cuban contingent that has voted pretty solidly Republican, and so I think that is a more effective group for them to be trying to go for and to expand. I think they need to say that the economy is on the rebound, the economy is doing better. I think they need to sort of lay a little bit of a stake on some of the South. They need to talk about Florida. They need to make it seem as if North Carolina is still in play. If we're going to see this bump, we're already starting to see it a little bit. We're then going to see a little bit of a Democratic bump next week, and then it's going to fade out mostly. And my guess is by the time it's all said and done, the Republicans will get a slightly bigger bump out of this whole thing long term than the Democrats.
And Chris Cooper also says the few who are still undecided will likely make their decision during the debates.